This program is about the subtleties of the multifaceted profession, the program Diplomats Live, to meet people who carry the mission of rapprochement of nations on the basis of mutual understanding and cooperation. Shubat, sacred places of Kazakhstan, and vegetables in the greenhouse. US Ambassador George Krol in the program Diplomats Live. I have a lot of friends there. It's pretty easy to find work there. Great choice of products and the prices are great. All progressive people who want to realize themselves strive to go to the United States. They want to graduate from prestigious universities. At the moment, my grandson is studying at Harvard University there. Everything is developed over there, both technology, knowledge and universities. The joint project of the USA and Kazakhstan was a film, Nomads. I watched it and liked it very much.
Well, I want to welcome you to my residence, the residence of the Ambassador of the United States to Kazakhstan. It's located here on the territory of the American Embassy here in Astana. Here in the foyer, the entrance of my residence, we have, of course, the flag of the United States of America, as well as the flag of the Ambassador of the United States, which is this is the coat of arms of the United States of America, and this is the flag of the American Ambassador. And we also do honor to the first President of the United States of America, George Washington, and also another symbol of the eagle, which is the symbol of the United States of America. On the other side, this is a tapestry that was done by an artist, Barbara Teller Ornelas, from Arizona. It actually looks very Kazakh-like because she is a Native American from the state of Arizona, from the Navajo Nation, the tribe, and this is her own personal work, which is she did herself, which is made from the wool of sheep from Arizona. You can see many symbolism of this tapestry with certain symbolisms here in Kazakhstan. As well as this picture, which is also a picture from the place where I live, which is in Newport, Rhode Island, and also on the coast. And this is another painting showing the coastal area of Newport, Rhode Island. This is a symbol of good fortune, which is of the Native Americans of the United States. Also, it looks very much like a shangrak, and it has much the same symbolism of safety and security for home and family. So I keep this Indian symbolism here in my home as an American sign of hoping that everyone who lives in this house will live in peace and harmony. Well, this is the yurt that I erected here at my residence. It's a genuine Kazakhstani yurt. As soon as I knew that I was ambassador to Kazakhstan, I found a family, I believe from Kostanay, that made yurts. That this is a 3-camel yurt, that it would take 3 camels to carry this yurt from one place to the other. We have very different histories in our past, and although the United States, the American continent is so far away from Kazakhstan, nevertheless, in the time I've been here, I've seen and felt a lot of similarities between my country and Kazakhstan. Even physically, Kazakhstan is a huge country with a very varied geography. It's got plains, the great steppes, it has mountains, it has deserts, it has huge river systems and the like, as does the United States. And in the time that I've been able to travel in Kazakhstan, I really feel quite at home, because when you go to Western Kazakhstan or Eastern Kazakhstan or South or North, it's an immense country with immense natural beauty. My visit to Western Kazakhstan, to Mangistau Oblast, and to visit these shrines, the famous K-Mosque, was an unforgettable experience. Not only to see them, but also just to be with the people who were there, and to feel their sense of their spiritual sense is something that I will never forget. That even though our common language that we had was, a language of almost a spiritual language, of being together in a holy place in such a magnificent setting as Western Kazakhstan. And I think that the experiences I have are the interactions with the people in Kazakhstan, whether it's in Eastern Kazakhstan and you're standing by a river and you're just being with people, and they may not know I'm the American ambassador or not. I'm just someone who's there, and you feel this sense of unity with them and the beauty, enjoying the beauty of the country. We have done an awful lot together. Back in the early 1990s, when I first came here, the decision of Kazakhstan and its leadership to invite to Kazakhstan major American energy companies to develop the riches of Kazakhstan's oil and gas, which was in the ground, was a great decision to bring American and Kazakhstan together in economic development. And that has continued over these last 25 years, that now the Tengiz oil field and Kashagan oil fields are some of the largest producing oil fields in the world, and has put Kazakhstan on the map of the world as one of the greatest producers of a very important resource. As far as trade, while we are one of the largest investors in Kazakhstan still to this day, of over $30 billion of investment in our trade, we have about it's a balance of trade of about $800 million of goods that the United States imports from Kazakhstan, largely raw materials, but also there's $600 million of trade of American products that are sold to Kazakhstan. So the balance of trade is in Kazakhstan's favor, but that is only going to grow as well, because after the historic meeting of our two presidents in January of this year, President Trump and President Nazarbayev agreed on developing and diversifying our economic engagement into the future, so that we would see those figures, I hope, growing. Gardening in Astana, it's a very short season. This is the area where I plant our garden every year for vegetables, tomatoes, as well as pumpkins. We've also planted many trees, as you can see. Since I've been ambassador here, we've planted 400 trees here at the embassy. Now, we also have the teplitsa, the hothouse, as we call, where this is where we put our plants and start them in the heat here. There are various tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and the like. And I bring the seeds from the United States of America, various varieties, to plant them here in Kazakhstan. So this is a very important part of the of my life here, where we have to make sure that, as you can see, that they grow quite nicely. And I like the smell of the tomato plants. And I hope soon that we will be able to plant them. This, I think, are herbs. But we have to keep them very warm until we plant them in the garden. And here we have our new trees that we have planted here around the residence. I hope that they will break the wind, which is very strong here in Kazakhstan. And here also is where I plant cucumbers, herbs, peppers, beans, zucchini, kabachka, baklajan. So we all know the places where these will go. And this is we will put our tikva, our pumpkins, will be put in this particular patch here. But it's too cold here for the melons. In Uzbekistan, of course, dini are very important. Well, before I came to Kazakhstan, which is now over 3.5 years ago, I was ambassador of the United States in Uzbekistan, your neighbor to the south, where I was there for almost 4 years. So I know the region, and before that I had been the Deputy Secretary of State for Central Asian Affairs in Washington, so responsible for the United States relationships with all the countries of Central Asia. So I had visited your other neighbors, that is Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, in addition to serving as ambassador. And before that, I was ambassador of the United States to Belarus. So I've spent actually the last 26 years of my career in what was the Soviet Union and the former Soviet Union. And the first time I came to Astana was in, I believe, just in 2008, when we had opened our embassy here in 2006. And of course, we were the only building in this whole area of the city. And now you see how it has built up and has grown, and we are not alone here on Koshkarbaeva Street. I like the food of Kazakhstan very much, and I have quite a liking for the shubati, because I know it's very very good for your health. And so I've made a practice of having a cup of shubati every day, which I think I've been so far healthy in Kazakhstan, and maybe it's because of the shubat that I drink every day. Once I pour the shubati into the bowl, I know it has to be aerated. You have to keep moving the shubat with the ladle, so that it will have a good aeration. And that is something I've learned from the experts here. And then when I am ready to have the shubat, of course it should be the wooden bowl is very important too, because it also it is able to keep the temperature of the shubat at the proper temperature that is needed, and also it's very hygienic as well, different from if you had a metal or a ceramic or a clay cup. That is also very important to have the keep aerating it, and then to have your wooden cup, and then to pour it. I like a good cup of shubati, and then I always like to think and take a deep breath and to think of the great steppes of Kazakhstan, and the blowing wind and the sound of the dombra and the kobuz, especially the kobuz, which is a beautiful instrument, and then I drink it. Then I know I can face the day, and every day with the strength of the camel's milk.